This is Kate Sang from beautifullyimperfect.net, and I'm here with Gina Manley, a certified coach. Hi, Gina. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Kate?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good.
I'm so grateful to have you with us today. And I know that your background isn't necessarily in coaching, it's in a 25-year career in marketing. So explain to me how you ended up in the coaching business.
Okay. So I had worked for the same company for the last 25 years, and they disbanded. It was a group of radiologists, and they disbanded at the end of December. And I'm going to kind of intermingle here. So I came to the company that I coach as a client, knowing that I was going to have to get my health in order and lose weight because I didn't fit really well into my professional clothes. And I was going to have to go out and start interviewing. I hadn't interviewed for a job in 25 years. And so my success with the program sort of naturally led me into wanting to coach it.
Okay, so your biggest motivation to start the program was just being out interviewing and wanting to get back to a weight that you felt was reasonable.
Yes, I was a serial dieter since probably seventh or eighth grade, and I would be up and I would be down, and I could lose weight, but I never learned how to keep it off. I never learned what the secret was, and it was time. It was time that here I'm at this age, and it was time to get myself together and make a change so that as I am someday easing into retirement and someday having grandchildren and maybe the ability to travel, that I wanted to feel good and look good while I was doing it.
Well, that makes sense. So explain how the program works.
So there's 4 pillars to the program. So the first part of it is that you work with a coach, and that person holds your hand and guides you and helps you really keep you focused, keep your why in your sight. We all have a reason why we're doing this. Your coach listens to you and really helps you identify and stay motivated and talks you off the pantry ledge and so on. And so that's one pillar, and kind of guides you through the program.
Okay.
Another is community support. It's a couple of different ways. Some of it's private Facebook closed, where you are with like-minded people who are cheering you on and encouraging you and patting you on the back. Then there's an educational component and the science behind why this program works.
Okay.
And then it's the actual program itself, where you are eating 6 times a day and you learn how to fuel your body, and you learn that when you eat small amounts 6 times a day, you keep your engine running, and it's low glycemic, and so you keep your blood sugar stable. And so it's all 4 components to get you to what you consider to be a healthy weight and a healthy lifestyle. And during the process of it, as you're learning to identify what your motivation is, and as you're learning to get used to eating 6 times a day, and as you really tap in a lot to the education behind it, it becomes not a diet, which it's not. It becomes an entire health transformation. And a lot of the principles you learn in the education apply to everyday life. It applies to your role as a spouse, as a parent, as an employee, it's as a friend, and it's life-changing.
That's amazing. I think one of the things that's hard about a diet is that sometimes it's hard to stay with it. But if the
Right.
things that you learn become a lifestyle, then that's so much easier to stick to than just focusing on diet,
Exactly. And what I found for me, and what my clients are finding, is that you feel different in mentally and physically within the first week.
Wow.
I've lost weight before. I've never lost this much weight. My husband hit 98 pounds today since September.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I've never been this weight. I've been about 10 pounds more, but I didn't feel any different. And I immediately started putting the weight back on. And I remember when my 20-year-old was, I don't know, 4 or 5, and I had started to put the weight back on. And she said, Mommy, I liked it better when your belly didn't hang over the waist of your pants. Well, I liked it better too. And so I never felt this way before. I never learned the right way to do it. And because of that, it made it very motivating, and it made it easier to stay on track. Am I perfect? No, no one is. Life gets in the way. Mm-hmm. But before, if I wasn't perfect, I threw up my hands and said, I can't do anything. I give up. And I would just to continue to eat to make myself feel better, which really made me feel worse. And then I'd eat a little bit more. I broke that cycle of emotional anxiety and stress eating. Never. First time in my life.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So better sleep.
Better sleep.
You know. Oh yeah.
So what you said within a week you noticed an emotional difference. So like what did you notice right away that was so obvious to you?
I think that I could do this. That it wasn't hard. I didn't have to really think. I had to plan ahead. But I think it was having the confidence that I could do this. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily have that when I'm going into something. Oh, here I go again. You know,
right.
This now. This was different. I felt like I could do it. I had a coach that I could lean into who was there to prop me up and help me out. And my husband and I did it together. And you started to feel the mindset shift about food and start feeling like it's never a cheat, it's a choice. You make a choice to stay on plan, to improvise a little bit, or to derail. And I learned that, gosh, I feel so much better when I just do what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm.
That's a good motivator.
It is. And I will never forget how I felt about myself. I mean, I've always been a happy person. I think people were surprised when I would talk about how I felt inside when I was overweight. And you know, I was the floating head in every picture, and I was, if I allowed my picture to be taken.
Sure.
And, you know, horrified when I'd catch my reflection, and not necessarily wanting to be social and not having a whole lot of confidence. People were surprised when I said that. Well, my outward appearance was a lot different than internal. And I will never forget how I felt, and I don't never want to feel that way again.
Sure. That makes sense. And that's a good launching pad to go into coaching other people, which is what you're doing now.
Exactly.
And what kinds of transformation stories have you seen on the other side, as from the coaching side?
Oh my gosh. Just even with my own clients, I mean, I get to share in our community, so I see the kind of transformations that are possible with people. But just in my own clients, you know, I have a client that came to me with 150 pounds to lose, and she is 56 pounds in.
Wow.
And yeah, and she is very emotional about it because she can't believe how well she's done. And she leans into me a lot. You know, a lot of clients, when they go off the track a little bit, they don't want to answer your call. Well, that's when you should. That's when you should talk to your coach.
Sure.
And he really leans into me. So I've had clients say, I want to lose 30 pounds. They lose the 30 pounds and think, well, maybe I'll go for another 10. Or I'm good, now help me transition. Help
Mm-hmm.
me help me get to the point where I can move away from the program's fuelings and move into eating out of the kitchen, because I've already developed the habit of 6 times a day. So that's something else I do, is I work with them. And even when they hit to transition, I'm still their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Still keep in regular contact, because I want to make sure that they're still doing well, they're staying on track.
Sure. Well, what was the biggest achievement you experienced through your own transformation?
So my goal was 20 pounds,
Okay.
and I lost that in about 2 months.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
I lost another 13 when I started to transition. So I weigh less than I did in middle school. And I know in high school, because I know what I weighed in high school. And it's not this.
That's amazing.
And then seeing my husband, neither of us have ever seen each other at this weight or shape.
Wow.
And so, my internet is coming up and I lost being able to see you. Hold on. Sorry about that.
No problem.
And he's about 50 pounds less than he was his senior year in high school.
Wow.
And he knew it because he played football.
Okay.
And so those, I think, that is a huge achievement, but the biggest achievement is my mindset shift.
Mm-hmm.
That is greater than the weight loss and the way I look, because there's no going back.
Sure.
And the new healthy habits and the way I feel, my knees don't hurt anymore. I'm able to, I hadn't been in a gym since 1985 when I graduated from college. I walked, and I have a million tapes in the basement that I had never done. Well, now I go twice a week with a personal trainer. I've never wanted to do that before.
That's awesome.
And so those are the kinds of things that to me are my greatest achievements.
Sure.
And then it's my weight loss and the way I look.
Sure. That's great. And
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. And
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I know he had.
I heard him today tell his aunt that he hit that 98-pound mark. So
he should be proud. And he had some health issues as well that went along with his transformation. So he is now a much healthier person all around, I imagine.
Yes. So he had a triple bypass 13 years ago.
Wow.
And had lost some weight after it and gained it all back and more. And so he was almost at 300 pounds. And he was pre-diabetic and physically unable to keep up, do yard work. It was a struggle when we would go to a Braves game when you'd have to park. It was a struggle for him to walk because he hurt so much.
Sure.
He worked like a truck driver. He stopped snoring within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I woke up in the middle of the night and he was quiet. Then I panicked because he was making no noise. Well, that's because he had in sound sleep. And that was after 2 weeks. And so his physical health it's night and day.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you.
And so how do you define success in your coaching business?
I define success in my coaching business when a client calls and wants to share with me their what we call an NSV, which is a non-scale victory. And it's being at the barbecue and staying on track and avoiding everything on there because nothing good will come of it. That's a huge success. I love hearing those, or clients that cannot wait to call me to say, guess what I did, or guess where I'm at. That to me means more than anything. And it's equally when they call, when they lean in, when they struggle, that to me is because they trust me.
Sure.
I've lived it. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
great resources in addition to my own experiences to help them through it.
That's
So,
amazing. I'm so impressed by what you and your husband have both done, and the
thank
fact that
you.
now you're giving your time and energy and making this training a career for you, and changing lives in the meantime.
Yeah.
If people want to get in touch with you about how to start this program, how would they do that?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. They can search for me on Facebook. Under Facebook, I'm Gina Manley. They can call me. My cell is 770-757-0397, or they can shoot me an email at ggmanley, Manley, at bellsouth.net.
Thank you
And
so
whether they want to know or they know someone who else is struggling, they can pass out my contact information there too.
Well, thank you so much for that information and for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it. And I love
You're
what
welcome.
and if and hopefully we'll get some contacts, because I think
Sounds great.
it's very needed and a great thing.
Great. Kate, thank you so much for this opportunity to share with your readers and your network.
Well, you're welcome. I hope you have a great day, Gina. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Bye.